What's up, guys? Coming at you with our first interview video today. My guest was Mr. Bob Rathbun, who has been the Atlanta Hawks play-by-play broadcaster for the past 25 years, very established in the field. If you watch the Hawks on TV, you know the voice, you love him. So let's get into it.
Hey there.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Rathbun?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Appreciate you hopping on here with me.
Sure. My pleasure.
So, first question, you've been broadcasting play-by-play for about 25 years now, right?
With the Hawks, yes.
Okay, awesome. What aspects of the field have kept you in it for so long?
Well, I've done it my whole life, Devin. It's been a labor of love. I started full time when I was a sophomore in college at age 19, and I've been at it ever since. I started in radio, moved to TV, but I've been doing this forever, and I've done all aspects of it: anchoring, radio, TV, you name it. I've done it in sportscasting. So I guess I couldn't do anything else, so I better stay with it. It kind of is a cliche to say, but I enjoy the next game. It's
Okay.
the challenge of this is the preparation, getting to the game, telling that night's story because it's not going to be anything like last night's story.
Right.
Uh, be prepared for any eventuality, and that's what keeps me going. I love the players, I love the coaches, I love doing what I do, traveling, being at home, interacting with the fans. All that comes with it, and the fans keep you honest. You can't fake it for sure, and
Oh, yeah.
you can't be lazy. So the fans, particularly in this age of social media, they'll let you know what they think,
Oh,
and
yes.
and I want to stay sharp and on top of it, and bring them a great broadcast every night.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. So, what is it like calling Atlanta Hawks games with arguably the best player in franchise history? You get to sit side by side with Dominique Wilkins and call it with him. What's that like?
Well, it's great fun, and I hope you all and the audience enjoys the broadcasts. Uh, it's funny because I've been with him since he was in high school, which is kind of crazy,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
I'm what's Nick 60, 61, so I'm like 6 years older than he is. But when I was starting out broadcasting in North Carolina, my team went to the state championship against his team when he was a
Oh,
junior in Washington, North Carolina. Yeah.
so y'all go way
And
back.
yeah, we do. Now we didn't know each other, obviously,
Yeah.
but I got a chance to broadcast one of his games in high school, and he was, as you can imagine, phenomenal.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
in what was arguably the greatest high school class of all time.
Yep.
Then I got a chance to do a Georgia game when he played in the NIT. The team that I was doing, Old Dominion, played Georgia at Stegman, so I got to do that. And then I was not in the NBA when he was here playing for the Hawks, but I did get to do his games at the end when he was in Orlando and San Antonio and stuff like that. So I've had a chance to be with him in every step, and of
That's
course known
awesome.
him during our time in Atlanta. So it's been a unique relationship, and I love getting on the air and playing with him and kidding him and needling him and getting on him. But it's just so much fun because he's a legend. We all love him to pieces. We can't imagine doing a game without him. Um, he's just so much fun to be around. He's got so many great stories, and stories that we use on the air quite often.
Absolutely.
About what he went through and teammates and coaches and opponents he went up against. So it's been a great joy, and I hope the fans enjoy it.
Absolutely. I can say in our household we do for sure.
Good.
So how is having no fans or limited capacity, how has that changed like the game and the atmosphere for y'all as broadcasters?
Well, it excuse me, it makes it very sad because we want the fans with us. We are not used to this. I think the joy of doing this job is to do it in a packed arena. you
Oh,
know,
yes.
and the players miss it just as much as we do. They want that, they want to go in and hit the big shot on the road that shuts them up. And they
Right.
want to hit the big shot at home where the place goes crazy. We miss it terribly. It's changed the broadcast quite a bit because we feed so much, all of us, not just myself, but all of the NBA broadcasters. We feed off the crowd, and it affects our excuse me, it affects our call. Especially these road games where we're doing it off a monitor. So, yeah, it's negatively impact our broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I imagined. I'm just being there as a fan, so I know the players, the broadcasters. I know everyone's got to miss having that energy in there.
Yeah, it really has changed, and tough for the players. There are some arenas like Boston last night where they have no fans. New York, and I don't know if you saw the end of the game, but we interviewed Trey last night, obviously, and when we put him on headset, of course, you picked up all the natural sound in the arena.
Yeah.
Okay, which there is none.
Yeah.
And that is probably the most raucous arena we go to. And to hear Trey interviewed at TD Garden, and there is not a sound. It's like he's in a library.
Yeah.
Was really weird, because if that would have been with fans, you'd have had a bunch of booing him, and heckling him. But you don't have that, and we miss that.
Yeah. So let's see, where am I? What is your favorite game or your most memorable moment that you've called?
I get that question often. The moments that mean a lot to me do not mean anything to anybody else.
Really?
Yeah, broadcasting an NCAA tournament game for the first time, my first major league game in spring training, games that the players who played in them don't remember it, but I remember it because it was a milestone. But I answer it this way. There was nothing that I broadcast like the 60-win team. When we won 19 in a row, that was the most phenomenal streak I've ever been a part of. Now, the Golden State game here was great, but that was just one in that series. To go unbeaten in the month of January was absolutely mind-boggling. That never happens in the NBA.
Yeah.
And even the great teams of today, nobody's done it since.
Right.
Nobody's done it before, and nobody's done it since. I don't think anybody will ever do it again. That streak, that group of games was the highlight. There's no, it's funny. They talk about how taxing the back-to-backs are and playing, 4 games in 6 nights. Let me tell you something. When you're winning, it does not matter. You don't care where you're playing. You don't care who you're playing. You just, if you can play 5 straight nights, you're in such a rhythm and you're on such a high with your teammates and the rhythm of the game. And that's where we were. We could not be beaten. And so that was, I think, Devin, that was the biggest thrill for me to be a part of that. And for all Hawks fans to see the city come alive like it did. Everybody's watching every game. Everybody's a Hawks fan. It was like the Braves in 91, going worst to first. It was that kind of excitement, sort of like when Neek had it rolling, at the Omni. But I've never been a part of anything like that. So that's how I answer that question.
Okay, that's a great answer. That was definitely a special team to watch. I'm glad I got to watch them. And that was huge for the city. Definitely brought all the fans together, like you said, and really just kind of ignited them. So what advice would you give to a college student like myself who has an interest in the field of broadcasting?
How long do we have? I think there's a lot of things. I think number one, obviously the mechanics of broadcasting you must master. And a part of that is writing. If you can write well, you can do this well. The ability to speak in complete sentences is kind of rare these days. So write well, and then the mechanics of speaking, work on yourself as a speaker, and that will translate to working on yourself as a broadcaster. Your ability to get up and speak impromptu is going to carry you however far you go in this business. And the thing about sportscasting that's so different than news or features or what have you is we don't have a script. Once they toss that ball up, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be 5 overtimes. I mean, we have no idea what's going to happen.
Right.
So you got to be ready for all that. And, you do have to get experience. Start slowly, build up, get ready for the big moments, work on your voice. But I think one of the two things, I think number one, be curious. Time did not begin when you became a Hawks fan. There is a history to our game that goes back 75 years. There's a history of our franchise that goes back over 50 years. And there are a lot of people, as a broadcaster, and I'm speaking as a broadcaster, there are a lot of people that you're going to touch. If you replace me one day, you're going to be doing play-by-play, and all these old players, and by the time you're in this seat, old players will be like Trae Young, but they're going to be watching you, and because they're a part of Hawks history. And so don't microwave it. Go back and talk to these guys, talk to the athletes, talk to the coaches, learn the rules of the game, speak with the referees. It will consume you all day, every day, like it's consumed me for over 40 years. I can't wait to get up in the morning to start prepping, watching tape, reading newspapers, and I hate to go to bed at night because I don't want to miss the games. So if you've got that kind of enthusiasm for this, you'll be a success. There's no doubt in my mind. Every day, I've read every NBA box score for 25 years. I've read every game summary for 25 years. Have a system of note taking. Do it now. So when you're doing the Hawks, you'll have a history of this. This game did not start yesterday. There's a history to it, and it's fun. It's exciting because a lot of these guys will talk to you. You can meet them. Julius Erving comes to a Hawks game. I can sit and talk to Dr. J. I can sit and talk to Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, all these guys. So, that's the fun of this is a respect and a reverence for the history, the excitement of today with our great stars, the shooting skills of these guys today, Klay Thompson and Steph and Trae and all that. Nobody in the history of our game's been able to do it like this. No. So it's a great time to be a basketball fan.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Awesome. I appreciate that advice a lot.
Yeah. And anybody can do it. You don't have to be a sports fan. You don't have to, but if you want to get into broadcasting, I really do think it is a major key to your success is that you've got to be curious. You got to want to know and have a system to file stuff away for later use. Like I keep a file on every team, and when I see something on July 9th that I think I might be able to use in a game next season, I just clip it, and not physically clip it, but electronically clip it and throw it in the file, and I got it. So when we get ready to play the Celtics, I got a neat story on Brad Stevens that I have forgotten about, but my files remember.
All right. That is actually all the questions I have. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that we didn't cover?
No, sir. I think I just think for anybody that is thinking about getting into broadcasting is to do it. This is not something you learn in a book. It's not something that you can take a weekend course. This is a lifetime to do it well. You really got to be dedicated to the cause. But it's fun. It's a great way to make a living. And never in history have so many opportunities been available to young broadcasters, But here's the trick. What's going to make me stand out above 5,000 other graduates who's going to graduate from college the same day I do? That are all going after the same job. So the smart ones will work now to ensure that they're ahead of the field when you do graduate. and you're ready to jump into the job market. Make the contacts now. Volunteer at the games now. Help in sports information now. If the game is being televised on campus, get there. Kennesaw does every game somehow, some way.
Yep.
How can I help? How can I run cables? Can I get you a cup of coffee? How can I help you? And learn from the bottom up. But do that now, and that will separate you. The producers, the broadcasters will spend time with you like we're spending time today.
Yeah.
I can speak for my colleagues. I know that if you reach out to anybody, they're going to respond positively. Not many are going to ignore you, but they'll give you valuable pieces of advice. But show up. How did you, talk to them before the game for 5 minutes? How'd you get started? What do you recommend? What advice? Just like you've done today. And these things will help you get ahead of the pack.
Absolutely.
A lot of this is hanging around. A lot of guys go to Syracuse and go to, Fordham, and they go to all these broadcast factories. And yeah, there's a lot of successful guys that have come out of that, and women that have come out of those programs. But you don't have to. I went to Catawba. Come on. Anybody you could do this. It's just a matter of want to.
Right.
It's a matter of want to. Take the Sunday morning 6 a.m. shift at the campus radio station. That'll show you how dedicated you are to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
While your buddies are all hung over, you're in there grinding it out at 6 a.m. on Sunday with nobody listening.
Yeah.
And here is my report on last night in the NBA.
All right, Mr. Rathbun, I appreciate the time.
You are welcome. I hope this was helpful. And
Absolutely.
Good luck. And I can't wait till we have fans again, and you'll have to come down and visit.
Yes, for sure. I will be there as soon as I can get there.
Well, we can't wait to have you all back. Believe me, we are sick and tired of going to an empty arena.
Oh, I am sure.
It's awful. It's awful. I mean, there's like 1,300 people in there, and it seems like 13.
Yeah.
And the side we're on to broadcast, there's nobody over there. That's all cordoned off. Nobody can come back there. So it's like, this stinks.
Yep.
I want my peeps back.
We need that energy in there. Definitely get
Yes, we do.
Hyped up.
And the guys need it too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. I appreciate you giving me the time.
You're welcome. Stay in touch.
All right, that wraps up the video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. And a huge shout out again to Mr. Bob Rathbun for doing the interview. Super thankful to be able to get him on the channel, and glad that he was the first of hopefully many interviews to come. So I will catch y'all guys on the next video. Peace out.